Which Kamen Rider suits are the best? Today I'm looking at every main Kamen Rider suit from throughout history, and I'm going to rank them in a tier list. We've got S tier, which is the best of the best, absolute perfection. We've got A for amazing, B for good, C for subpar, which basically means it could be better, and D tier, which is this ain't it. These will be the suits that I think need a lot of work. Starting off, we've got the Double Riders from the original Kamen Rider series, and obviously this is a really classic look. I'm putting them here together because they look almost the same. We've got the black and green color scheme with a red scarf, and honestly, I've got to put these guys in S tier. Maybe it's because of how famous they are, but when I think of Kamen Rider as a franchise, these are the suits that I think of.
Kamen Rider V3
Next up, we've got V3, and I know I'm going to catch some heat for this one, but I'm going to put this in D. I'm just not a fan of the red stripe down the middle of his chest, or the segmented look of his helmet. I do like this series a lot, but it's not really because of his suit design. Next up, we've got Rider Man, and within V3, I like this suit a lot better than V3's. I like the open mouth design, something that's really unique for Kamen Rider. And I'm kind of torn between A and B, but I think I'll go with B. Next up, we've got X Rider, or Kamen Rider X. He's got a shiny silver helmet with bright red eyes and a bright red X on his chest, and I like this design a lot actually. It's clean, and of course it's inspired by Shotaro Ishinomori's manga called Skullman. But I struggle to say that it's amazing, so I'll put it B tier. Next up, we've got the classic Kamen Rider Amazon. If you look at the suits that came before this one, it's a huge leap in the design. When this came out, there were no other suits that looked like it. It's pretty clear to me that they looked at a piranha and said, yeah, let's do that. And I think they pulled it off really, really well. So I'm gonna put Amazon in A. Next up is Stronger, and I'm kind of torn on this one. I like the contrast of the black and red suit design, but to me the huge helmet looks kind of goofy, and a lot of the time that's all I see when I look at the suit. I want to put it in B, but I just can't really get past the huge helmet, so I'm going to put it in C tier. Next is Skyrider. This show functioned as a reboot of the original series, but I think the suit design loses a lot of the charm of the original. It's a bit more dull and bland. It would help this design to have a little bit more red, and because it's a reboot of the original series, I'm always going to compare it to that. And compared to the original Double Riders, this design just falls short. So we're going to put it in C tier. Next is Super 1. The color scheme of this design looks great. It's black and shiny silver, with some red accents that look really nice. It's nothing over the top, but it is pleasing to the eyes. So we're gonna put Super 1 in B tier. Next is Z-Cross, which is primarily red and silver with green eyes. On one hand, I can appreciate that they tried something new with the asymmetrical design, but when I look at it, I just wish that it looked a little cleaner. And its color scheme kind of reminds me of V3. So sorry Z-Cross, but you go in D tier. Next is Kamen Rider Black, and I love the look of this suit design. It's black and armored, with big red eyes, and the fact that you can see wiring underneath his armor is just a really nice touch. To me, this design invokes the late 1980s aesthetic, similar to what you would find in Tim Burton's Batman movie. Not to mention, this suit has become absolutely iconic over the years. We're gonna put it in A tier. Next we have Black RX, and ultimately I think this design is just a step down from the original Kamen Rider Black. It's dark green instead of black, and I've never really been a fan of the fat neck pad that he has. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but to me it just looks goofy. That being said, it is a clean design, so I can sort of get past the neck pad, and I think we'll put it in B tier. Next is Shin Kazumatsuri from Shin Kamen Rider Prologue, and I love this suit design. I'm a big fan of the biological looking Kamen Rider suits, and he basically looks like a giant evil grasshopper. Shin is going in S.
Kamen Rider
Next we've got Zeto and J, and these designs look almost the same. To me they look like an evolution of Kamen Rider Black's suit design, with a little bit of the biological rider suit design as well thrown in. They're simple and clean, and I think they both look great. So we're going to put these in the A tier. Next is Kuga, with a really striking black and red color scheme accented in gold. This design is really simple, but I think it makes a huge impact. And Kuga was a series that brought the Kamen Rider franchise back to life, making this a really iconic look. I lean towards A tier, but we're gonna go with S. I think Kuga's cultural impact justifies it. Next is Agito, which looks similar to Kuga, with just some very slight differences. They removed most of the red from his suit, squared off his shoulders, and while I think this suit looks great, it just doesn't quite reach the level that Kuga does, so we're gonna put it in A. Next is Kamen Rider Ryuki, and holy crap, this design is incredible. First off, the red undersuit is an excellent touch, and it makes him stand out amongst all the other riders. I love the armor plating on his chest, and the intricate slotted design of his helmet really makes him look like a knight, which makes sense for him. This is a design that I honestly don't think you can improve upon, so without any hesitation, I'm gonna put this in S tier. Next is Faiz, or 555. He's got a black undersuit with a silver armored chest, yellow eyes, and red piping throughout. I really like how the red stripes are also part of his henshin, but to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the way his eyes look here. His visor design is basically a big yellow circle with a line down the middle. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite either. We're gonna put Faiz in B tier. Next is Kamen Rider Blade, and to be honest, this is not my favorite design. He has a dark blue undersuit with a silver chest piece, and I do like the spade on his chest, but I've never been a fan of the way his helmet comes up in a point. I know he's based off of a rhinoceros beetle, but I just don't find it particularly appealing. I'm gonna put Blade in C tier. Next up is Kamen Rider Hibiki, and this suit really invokes the Oni theme that the show is going for. He's got a suit that's mostly purple, with some red accents, and his helmet design is intricate and detailed. This is honestly one of my favorite helmet designs, but the rest of the suit is a little bit bland. That being said, I love the uniqueness, and I love how aggressive his helmet design looks in general, so we're gonna put him in A tier. Next is Kamen Rider Kabuto, who has a black undersuit, red armor, and glowing blue eyes. Overall, I think this is a pretty simple design, but I do like how his beetle horn moves into place whenever he henshins. It's a really nice touch. Despite that, I think this design is just a little oversimplistic. It's serviceable, nothing amazing, but it gets the job done. We're gonna put it in B tier. Next up is Dino, and yeah, I know sword form isn't technically his base form, but we're gonna go with sword form instead of platform. It's the design that's seen most in marketing, and most likely if you look up an image of Dino, it's probably gonna be sword form. This is another black and red suit design with silver accents, but I think what makes this design stand out is the helmet design. His eyes are very angular, coming to a point, which invokes the demon-like look of Momotaro's. Overall, the design is kind of simple, but I think the helmet really saves it. We're gonna put him in B tier. Next is Kamen Rider Kiva, a bulky black and red suit with yellow eyes, and this suit does a great job representing the vampire themes found in the show. I think the helmet mold is absolutely amazing. It's super angular, and in a way this suit reminds me of Spawn a little bit. I think the designers did a great job in coming up with a suit design that really fit the show's theme. I honestly have no complaints, so I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next up is Kamen Rider Decade, with a really unique black and magenta color scheme and bright green eyes. He also has an X across his chest, representing the Roman numeral 10, and I kinda go back and forth with where I wanna put this, honestly. Magenta is definitely not one of my favorite colors, but this suit is just so damn unique. Plus the armor mold is bulky and armored looking, but somehow still very streamlined. So we're gonna put Decade in B tier. Next up is G, and I'm not a huge fan of this suit, to be honest with you. It has a black and red color scheme with yellow eyes, and when they named him G, they really went with that theme. He's got a G on his chest, he's got G's around his eyes, and his weapon also has a G on it. That being said, I find it really gimmicky, so I've got to drop it down a little. We're gonna put it at C tier. Next up is Kamen Rider Double, and I'm just gonna right away put it in S tier. My favorite colors are green and purple, so that scores it a lot of points right there. The shape of the helmet is perfection, with the huge W ornament on his head. The red eyes give it a lot of contrast, and I really enjoy the small detail of his armor where it looks like layered plating. This is my favorite rider, and I think that his suit design is absolute perfection. Next up we have Eiji, also known as Kamen Rider Oz. This is another really unique suit design, with a black undersuit, along with a red helmet, yellow accents on his chest and arms, and green accents on his boots. This is due to the nature of his henshin system, which uses 3 coins to change different parts of his body. But I think most people would consider Tatoba to be his base form. I love the red and green color contrast of his helmet, and I think this is a really nice design. Not quite at the level of Double, but still really good. So we're gonna put it in A tier. Next up is Fawcett, who looks like a rocket ship. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this design. I do love the show, and I know a lot of people will probably give me crap about this one, but I just don't find this design very dynamic. It kind of looks like it would be awkward to fight in, to be honest. I appreciate the uniqueness, and the way that Toei really leaned into the theme of this series with the suit design, but we're gonna throw him in C tier. Next is Wizard, a black and red suit design with a long coat, and that's about all that Wizard has going for his design. He's meant to look like a mage, and I think they do a good job at pulling that off, but I just find his design kind of bland. If you play a game with a mage class, chances are they have armor in that game that looks a lot better than this, at least more elaborate in its design. So because of that, I'm gonna put him in C tier. Next is Gaim, and I'm torn on this one because I love Samurai, borderline obsessed with him, but there are some things I would change about this armor if given the chance. First of all, I would have more armor on his legs. This design just looks a little top heavy to me. He's got tons of armor on his upper body, but very little on his legs. He kind of looks like he would topple over. Second of all, some of the yellow accents to me just look a little out of place, and I think that the design would look better if you replace those with more orange. That being said, he does have the helm of Masamune, one of the most famous samurai helmet designs in history, so we're gonna put Gaim in B tier.
Drive, type, speed.
Next is Kamen Rider Drive, a clean looking black and red suit with a tire across the chest, and a helmet that looks like a sports car, complete with a spoiler. Overall, I think this design looks great, but I have to ding it a little bit for the wheel across his chest. It just looks a little awkward. But this is a really good design, and I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next is Ghost, a black and orange design featuring a hooded robe and an orange helmet with a horn on the front. I kinda go back and forth with this one. There's nothing about it that makes me think it's amazing, and there's nothing about it that makes me think it's bad. I think that's the definition of mid-tier. We're gonna put it in B. Next up is Xaid, who had a pink undersuit and an anime-inspired helmet design, and a chest piece that featured a game controller. I'm kinda torn on this one too because, on one hand, I love the helmet design. It reminds me of anime, but I'm not a fan of pink, so I have to ask myself if the helmet design is cool enough to make up for how aggressively pink this suit is. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Next up is Build. I love this suit design. He's got a black undersuit with armor that's half red and half blue, but instead of being split right down the middle like Double, it's split on his body at an angle. The shades of red and blue featured here are really dynamic looking, almost metallic in a way, and this suit is just so vibrant. It's simple, it's clean, but it looks really, really nice. I honestly have no complaints, so build goes in S tier. Next is Kamen Rider Gyo, who features a black undersuit with pink accents and an obvious time theme. Across his chest you can see what looks to be a watch strap, something that I'm not really a huge fan of, but I do like the clock hands on his helmet and the fact that his visor spells out Rider in Japanese. It's a really nice touch. So I love his helmet, but I'm not a fan of the watch strap on his chest, so we're gonna put him in B tier. Next is 01, and I love the mold of his armor. It reminds me of some of the classic riders in the series, but he's colored like a highlighter with a bright yellowish green design, so I think that this suit gives vibes of retro Kamen Riders meeting the future. And given the theme of the show, I think that fits really well. Also, giving him red eyes was a great choice because it contrasts super nicely with the rest of the color scheme. We're gonna put 01 in A tier. Next up is Kamen Rider Saber, a super elaborate suit design with a black, red, and silver color scheme, a tailcoat, and a blade coming out of his forehead. This suit looks really aggressive and dynamic, and man, they really went for it here. I'm gonna put Saber in A tier. Next up is Revice, and I don't like these suits at all. First off, I'm not a fan of pink, and there's a lot of pink on these suits. The helmet molds look pretty cool, I will admit that, but I just can't really get past how pink these suits are. I feel like they need more color contrast. So some of y'all will give me crap for this, but I'm gonna put them in D tier. This just ain't it. Next up is Kamen Rider Geats, who has a black undersuit, white armor, and a helmet design that's based off of traditional Japanese kitsune masks. Now on one hand, his helmet mold is incredible. If you're into Japanese culture, then surely you've seen a lot of these kitsune masks before, and having that look applied to a Kamen Rider was a great choice. Beyond that though, the rest of his armor was pretty bland. It's just white with a little bit of red. Now obviously Geats can form switch his upper and lower bodies, but for this base look specifically, it's a little bit boring. That being said, I think his helmet is so amazing that he gets raised up all the way to A tier. Next up is Gotchard. I really like the metallic blue on his suit design, and the orange accents give it a nice contrast. He also has the goggles on his helmet, which fits really well with the whole alchemy theme, and I would say that this design is solid. Nothing that's gonna blow you away, but it's pretty good. B tier. Next we have Kamen Rider Gav, who features a black undersuit with red, blue, and yellow armor, meant to remind viewers of Candy, and I think it does a great job at accomplishing what it sets out to do. I love purple, and the blue and yellow accents give it a lot of contrast. Much like Gotchard, it's not amazing looking, but it does a great job at representing the theme of the show. B tier.
Impact!
Next is our newest rider, Kamen Rider Zetz, and I'm just gonna say right away, S tier. I absolutely love this suit design. They basically took the color scheme of the double riders and applied it onto an armor mold that's much more modern. To me, it basically looks like Ichigo mixed with 01 and a little bit of Kiva with the visor design. I think this is the best suit design that they've come up with in a number of years. Next we have Kamen Rider Black Sun. As I said earlier, I'm a big fan of the organic looking Kamen Rider designs. We already put Shin in S tier, and we have to put Black Sun in S tier. This suit looks aggressive and just absolutely wicked. It's so detailed, and honestly pretty evil looking, that there's really not anything I can think of that could be improved on. Easy S tier. Next is Kamen Rider Amazon Alpha, based off of the suit design of the original Kamen Rider Amazon. He was made red with green accents, and he of course has razor sharp gauntlets on his arms. The original Amazon was A tier, and Amazon Alpha is no exception. Then we have Amazon Omega, a similar design, but with a slightly different armor mold, along with a green and orange color scheme, also A tier.
Kamen Rider, the first.
Next we have the Double Riders from Kamen Rider the First. I think the designers did a great job of giving the original Double Riders a much more modern look. I love the designs here, but I'm going to put them in A tier because the size of their helmets is a little bit smaller than the original. Next we have V3 from Kamen Rider the Next, and I like this design way better than the original. The colors are a little bit darker, and the slightly smaller helmet design actually works in V3's favor here. He goes to B tier. Finally, we have the Double Riders from Shin Kamen Rider, and I think they did a great job at taking the original look of the Double Riders and just cleaning it up slightly. These are almost a one-for-one recreation, but clearly made with modern technologies. Also S tier. So that's my tier list of main rider suit designs, but I want to know what you think in the comments. If you want to make your own tier list for Kamen Rider suit designs, you can do that at tiermaker.com, and you can share it with me in my Discord server, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a ton if you smack the shit out of that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.